Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's head outside and take a look outside our weather window. And yeah, 90 degrees Saturday, 92 yesterday, and we were well above that today all across north central Washington as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley and all of that blue sky today from our cross camera up on Wenatchee Heights. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, another hot one on tap for Tuesday. We are under an excessive heat warning here in the Wenatchee area until 11 p.m. tomorrow night before things quote, cool down as we make our way through the week and into the upcoming weekend. Also, maybe a thunderstorm in our forecast for Wednesday. We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. A two-car head-on accident late Saturday night on Highway 97A, 3 miles north of Wenatchee, critically injured both drivers and closed the highway for about 4 hours. Firefighters had to deal with two brush fires within minutes of each other Friday night along Highway 2 in Cashmere. And firefighters today are concentrating on mop-up efforts on the Vantage Highway Fire, which has now burned more than 32,000 acres since first being reported a week ago today. But first, our top story tonight. Two Chelan residents were killed when the motorcycle they were riding struck a guardrail while swerving to avoid a cougar Saturday night. It happened 3 miles south of Lake Chelan State Park. According to the Washington State Patrol, 69-year-old James Dismarius and 66-year-old Anita Dismarius were traveling southbound on South Lakeshore Road at about 9:40 when James Dismarius, the driver, lost control of his 2009 Honda after spotting a cougar in the road. The motorcycle struck the guardrail on the right side of the road, ejecting both passengers. Both were pronounced dead at the scene. A two-car head-on accident late Saturday night on Highway 97A, 3 miles north of Wenatchee, critically injured both drivers and closed the highway for about 4 hours. The Washington State Patrol says that just before midnight, a 2007 Toyota Corolla being driven by 36-year-old Juan Orozco Sanchez was traveling southbound when it crossed the center line and struck a 1988 GMC pickup, which was being driven by 63-year-old Nicholas L. Chapham of Renton. Both Orozco Sanchez and Clapham were airlifted to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. Orozco Sanchez faces charges of vehicular assault. The State Patrol believes that drugs or alcohol were a factor. Firefighters had to deal with two brush fires within minutes of each other Friday night along Highway 2 at Cashmere. The first was near the Nahum Canyon exit about 5:35 p.m. Firefighters from Cashmere and Leavenworth were able to contain the fire to about a quarter acre. Then at 5:40 p.m., another brush fire was reported at the Hay Canyon exit of the highway. With the assistance of Monitor firefighters, crews from Cashmere and Leavenworth were able to contain that fire to about a half an acre. No cause of either fire has yet been determined. Firefighters today are concentrating on mop-up efforts on the Vantage Highway Fire, which has burned more than 32,000 acres since being first reported a week ago today. The wildfire is by far Washington's largest so far this season and briefly led to the evacuation of parts of Vantage. The incident management team on the fire said it's 75% contained with minimal fire activity in the past 2 days. Some of the firefighting resources on that fire have been shifted to the Cow Canyon fire to the south, which has burned about 5,800 acres in Kittitas and Yakima counties since being reported last Wednesday. That fire is now 30% contained. Well, when we come back, election results from last week's primary vote continue to be counted. We'll bring you the updated numbers. The paint recycling program is quickly growing in Chelan County. In fact, it's now the most popular item dropped off at the Chelan County Moderate Risk Waste Facility. And the Forest Service says they've received several reports recently of bears making their way into campsites in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At Click It RV, we're overstocked on inventory and need to make room for brand new models on our lot. Between our 4 locations in Spokane, Tri-Cities, Moses Lake, and Milton Freewater, we have hundreds of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and RVs that have to go. With low payments, 0 down, and no payments for 90 days, you'll want to hurry in today while the best floor plans are still available. Come check out the Overstock Liquidation Sale, going on now at Click It RV.
Welcome back. And in other news, election results from last week's primary vote continue to be counted. The most recent tabulation carried out on Friday still favors the merger of the Wenatchee Valley's 2 largest fire districts, serving Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, and the surrounding areas. Between the votes in Chelan County Fire District 1 and Douglas County Fire District 2, 56.9% of ballots said yes to joining the 2 districts. The vote also approves a $1.50 property tax rate to fund the new district. Meanwhile, in Chelan County races, District 1 voters sent independent candidate Ann Hesberg and Republican Sean Smith on to the general election in November to replace retiring Commissioner Bob Boogert. Another independent, Deputy County Clerk Sandra Arechiga, is seeking to become the elected clerk of Superior Court. The countywide primary left her with a healthy lead over Republican Marty Young, who'll be her general election opponent. Congressional races are now firmed up. Incumbent Democrat Kim Schreier of the 8th District will face Republican challenger Matt Larkin 3 months from now as she seeks to keep the seat for a 3rd term. Veteran Republican Dan Newhouse ended the 4th District primary in a 25% dead heat with Democratic challenger Doug White. White benefited from multiple Republican challengers seeking to unseat Newhouse over his vote to impeach President Donald Trump. The most successful Republican insurgent, Lauren Culp, took 3rd place in the top 2 primary. The results are due to be certified on August 16th. Well, the paint recycling program is quickly growing in Chelan County. In fact, it's now the most popular item dropped off at the Chelan County Moderate Risk Waste Facility. From June 21st through August 2nd, the facility was open 27 days for public drop-off of household hazardous wastes. In that time, staff collected 10,581 pounds of latex paint, about 1,500 gallons, and 3,700 pounds of oil-based paints, or about 500 gallons. In comparison, residents dropped off 19,600 pounds of used motor oil in all of 2021. In its 2021 annual report, Paint Care reported that 88% of the latex paint it collects around the state is sorted, blended, and sometimes retinted into recycled latex paint for local use or domestic or international sale. For oil-based paint, about 64% is processed for energy recovery at a waste-to-energy facility or a cement kiln. 35% is incarcerated and 2% is sold or given away in its original container. Visitors to the risk waste facility are limited to 55 gallons per visit, and the paint must be in containers no larger than 5 gallons. The facility is located at 3612 Highway 97A in Wenatchee, and the hours are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on the first Saturday of every month. Well, the Forest Service says they've received several reports recently of bears making their way into campsites in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. Forest officials said in each case, food or garbage were left unattended. They said most of the reports thus far have been coming from the Methow Valley and Cle Elum Valley. Campers are being reminded to use food storage lockers if possible, or box or bag food in airtight containers and store it in areas where bears can't gain access. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
We got things coming our way that we've never faced before. Under the current conditions, the storm's going to continue to get stronger and stronger. Now's not the time to take a step back. Now's not the time to be soft. Now's the time to drive us in the right direction to protect our communities. The team that surrounds myself is the team to take you into the future.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. We told you last month about efforts to study the Wenatchee Mountains checker mallow, an endangered native plant that grows only in Chelan County. The effort was a joint project of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and other agencies. In tonight's feature story, the department has put together its own video to show how the population count was conducted in the Camas Meadows Natural Area. Take a look.
Wenatchee Mountains checker mallow is an endangered species. It's what's considered a narrow range endemic, so it has a really limited range. It pretty much only grows in a very small area of the Wenatchee Mountains. Its habitat is wet meadows like we have here. This area is about 98% of the population. Wenatchee Mountains checker mallow is a tall plant. It has a cluster of pink flowers at the top, so it's a really showy, pretty flower. Today is our annual survey for the species so that we can track population trends. And we're out here today doing our survey with our partners, Washington Department of Natural Resources with their Natural Heritage Program and the University of Washington Rare Care Program. We will walk through and mark each plant that we see with a pin flag, and then once we're done with this section, we'll come back through and count the flags, and that will tell us how many plants we have in that area, and we'll come back each year, allowing us to monitor population trends over time. It really informs our recovery efforts. So knowledge is power. If we weren't monitoring them, we wouldn't know if our efforts were being successful or not. So it can help us, kind of adapt our efforts based on how the population trends are going.
All All right, let's take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great weekend. Temperatures weren't bad at all. Pretty much seasonably normal with temperatures around that 90-degree mark. It was a nice one again today, and yeah, the heat wave actually began yesterday over 90 degrees, and we're going to continue on that trek. Lots of blue sky over us today. An excessive heat warning is in place, and that goes until 11 p.m. tomorrow night. 100 unofficially our temperature at Pangbourne Airport today. 89 is where we should be. 104 our record high, and that was set back in 1971. 66 this morning. 63 is our normal low, and our record low 53 degrees set in 1992. Sunrise 5:45 or 5:48 this morning, and the sun sets for us tonight at 8:24. Oh, it's hot, and it's going to be even hotter as we get you into your Tuesday forecast. We're looking at 102 in Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy, 101 in the Wenatchee area. So really a lot like today, maybe a tick or two warmer than today for tomorrow. Cashmere 100, Leavenworth the same at 100 degrees. And that goes for Chelan too, right at the century mark for your Tuesday high temperature. As we take a look at tonight, we can expect mostly clear skies. It will be warm, anchoring high pressure off the coast, and another desert southwest high that's bringing up all of that heat from that part of the country. It's going to be hot tomorrow, as we mentioned. A few more clouds, though, and even some scattered thunderstorm activity Tuesday afternoon. Highs between 100 and 105 degrees. And speaking of thunderstorm activity, this little area of low pressure is going to bring some clouds our way. And look at that. This is early Wednesday morning. We could hear thunder and actually get a little bit of rain before we clear out by afternoon. And then our high temperature is going to warm up into the upper 90s for Wednesday. For Thursday, here we go. More high pressure building in, sunny and hot. And boy, we're just going to stay this way right through the weekend with high temperatures Thursday in the mid-90s. Friday, not a whole lot of changes. A lot of shower activity to our east in the Intermountain area, the Rocky Mountains, but we are just going to warm up once again. We're talking mid to upper 90s then as we get into the end of the week for Friday, and then kicking off our weekend, sunny and still hot with high temperatures once again in the mid-90s, but maybe some changes on Sunday as an area of low pressure starts to flatten out our ridge a little bit. We are going to be clear on Sunday and still hot, but possibly changes as we get into the next week. 7-day forecast now. Tonight will drop down to 72 degrees, 101 tomorrow, 75 the overnight low, 98, maybe a morning thunderstorm on Wednesday. Boy, we hope that doesn't have any impact on new fire starts, but we're going to keep our eye on that for Wednesday. 96 Thursday, 97 as we end the work week on Friday, and then a pretty nice weekend. Will be sunny both Saturday and Sunday, 95 your highs Saturday and 94 on Sunday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
I'm John Volan, and I'm running for judge here in Chelan County. For more than 20 years, I've upheld the rights of the local community as an attorney, trial lawyer, and part-time judge. This fall, I'm running for district court judge. I'm highly endorsed by the legal and local communities for my thorough, fair-minded, and just approach. I'm the only candidate with civil, criminal experience, but experience as a judge as well. This fall, vote John Volan for Chelan County District Court Judge.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCWLIFE. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
It's a little scary at first, right? You're just throwing money out there hoping it comes back. And to see those results come back through and see people walk through the door and say, hey, saw your TV advertisement. Those are the kinds of things that you see the return on. And when you look at the cost spent, you know you're making a return on it. NCWLIFE really does a great job of exposing our brand and Succession wines to North Central Washington. There's a huge market here and market potential that NCWLIFE is able to help us capture, spread who we are, and tell the world about what Succession does, and they are a great avenue for that.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Monday to you. The Wenatchee Apple Sox are champions. Saturday win over Walla Walla meant a second-half title for the West Coast League's North Division for Wenatchee. Radio voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, has the happy news from the weekend.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox took 2 of 3 games over the weekend against the Walla Walla Sweets and captured the West Coast League's North Division second-half title, thus guaranteeing that they will have home field advantage in the first round of the postseason. Wenatchee won by 10-1 scores on Friday and Saturday, but could not finish off the sweep on Sunday, falling 7-5. The Apple Sox will take on the Kamloops Northpaws in the first round of the postseason. It's a best of 3 games. First team to 2 victories moves on. Apple Sox took 5 of 6 games against the Northpaws this season, but open up this series on the road. Game 1 will be on Tuesday night at Kamloops, before games 2 and, if necessary, 3 will be on Wednesday and Thursday, respectively, at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The Apple Sox have made the postseason for the 14th time in 22 seasons and are looking to win their 6th West Coast League championship. Over the weekend, Joichiro Oyama stole 4 bases, and he has now recorded 42 stolen bases, thus giving him the West Coast League's single-season record for steals in a season. So congratulations to Oyama, as he broke the league single-season records for runs and stolen bases in 2022. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you much, Joel. The Sweets scored 5 runs in the 9th inning to knock off Wenatchee Sunday 7-5. Sox newcomer Stephen Meyer was 2 for 4 with 3 runs and 2 RBI. Cole Kramer gave up the 5 spot to take the loss. Other West Coast League action on Sunday. Victoria earned the 4th seed of the North with a 3-1 win over Edmonton. Kamloops takes the 3rd seed after a 7-3 loss to Bellingham. Bells are the number 1 seed. Corvallis fell to Ridgefield 4-3, but still claimed the first and second half titles in the WCL South. They'll be the number 1 seed. Portland is the number 2 seed and is coming off an 8-2 win over Springfield. Raptors are number 3 seed, while Yacobo Valley is the 4th seed after beating Kelowna 5-1. Here's the final standings for the second half of the WCL's North Division. Wenatchee finishing a half game in front of Victoria for that title. The Bells finished 33-20 overall, with a Wenatchee 6.5 games back at 27-27. Kamloops finished the regular season at 26-27, while Victoria was 26-28. Corvallis and Portland both finished the second half of the WCL South Division at 21-7. Yacobo Valley turned things around and was 20-7. Now, as far as the overall, the South had 3 teams finished with 30 or more wins, with the Knights at 39-15, Pickles 36-16, Ridgefield 32-21. The West Coast League playoffs begin tomorrow, with Wenatchee playing at Kamloops at 6:35. Bellingham plays the first of its best of 3 playoff series at Victoria. Yacobo Valley hosts Corvallis, while Portland is at Ridgefield. Well, we have game 2 of that series, by the way, with Kamloops here on the NCWLIFE channel. That'll be Wednesday, beginning at 6:30. Well, the Mariners and Angels split their 4-game weekend series at T-Mobile Park after losing a heartbreaker in 10 innings on Friday and splitting a doubleheader on Saturday. Seattle came away with a 6-3 victory in the series finale on Sunday, thanks to a grand slam from Jesse Winker.
2-2 pitch, couple of men aboard. There we go. It was due. That 0 for 11 wasn't going to last long. Frazier's going to score. Haniger will get the stop sign right there. RBI double Eugenio Suarez. Mariners have an early lead, 1-0 over the Angels here in the first inning. 2-0 pitch. Down the line. It's got a really good look to it. It is a grand slam for Jesse Winker. Jesse Winker, home run number 11, 3rd career grand slam. Mariners big lead at 5-0 against the Angels. Hey now!
This is exactly what you wanted to see. Catches a fastball 92 miles an hour out in front, exit velo of 103, right down the line. Just a matter of whether it's going to say fair or not. Grand slam.
Hit well down the third baseline. That's a fair ball. It gets into the corner. Joe Adell rounding third. Renifo scores. Adell scores. Two-run double for David Fletcher. Halo's back in this one. It's 5-2.
Another opportunity to get on this board here. 1-1. That's going to make it happen. Down into the corner. Gino scores. Winker coming to third. Manny waving him on. Now we'll give him a late stop sign. He runs through the stop sign. Got a chance. He is out. They got him. That's your ball game. And a Mariners a satisfying win. 6-3 final.
Seattle welcomes the Yankees to town for the first of 3 games tonight, 7:10. You can see it on Root Sports Northwest. Other American League West action on Sunday. Tristan McKenzie pitched 8 two-hit shutout innings with 8 strikeouts to lead Cleveland over Houston 1-0. White Sox had 4 players with 3 hits apiece as Chicago beat Texas 8-2. San Francisco won the Battle of the Bay over Oakland 6-4. Seattle and Tampa Bay gained a game on Toronto in the American League wildcard chase over the weekend. Blue Jays and Rays both picked up victories Sunday. Baltimore fell 2 games back alongside Cleveland with an 8-1 loss to Pittsburgh. Seahawks beat the Seahawks 17-13 Saturday in their mock game. The quarterback battle between Drew Lock and Geno Smith emerged with Lock looking a little bit better than Smith on the day. Coach Pete Carroll says it depends on the film, on who performs better. Of course, the Seahawks getting ready for their first preseason game. That'll be this Saturday at Pittsburgh, their first preseason game of the season. Gorgeous evening at Wenatchee Valley Super Oval on Saturday night for a perfect setting for outstanding racing. Chad Holliday won his first Rockstar Energy B-Mod main event of the season, with Donovan Stevens second, Garrett Evans finishing third. Jay Evans continues to dominate with the Cow Car in the Plum Perfect Roadrunners class. Wenatchee driver grabbed his 5th main event win of the season. East Wenatchee's Kyle Spalding was second, followed by Freitas' Josh Roberts. Sumner's Steve Woods won the Northwest Vintage Modified main event Saturday. Renton's Vince Conwell was second, followed by Gig Harbor's Call Cheth. The MC Dwarf Bandit, make that the Bandit Dwarf Cars main event. Checkered flag fell for Penticton's Rick Taylor. Bremerton's Cameron Stark was second, followed by Marysville's Daryl Knutz in third. They'll be back at it again this Saturday at WVSO with the Columbia River Throwdown. Racing will feature Jerry's Auto Supply Pro Late Models, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, Thunder Cars, Angel Bail Bonds Bandoleros, and the WMRA Midgets. So you can find out more at WVSO.com. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And with that, that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us, and have a great night.
Hi, I'm Kerry Condata, host of the 12th District TV show right here on the NCW Life channel. We're available 5 times a week on air and also at ncwlife.com streaming. You can even find our archives for older shows. We cover business and politics like nobody else. From an insider's perspective, someone that's been self-employed for 30 years and in the legislature for 16 years. You'll get it all right here every week on the 12th District. Won't you join us?
The NCW Life channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCW Life channel today.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.
Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball is on the NCW Life channel. Coverage is brought to you by AmeriCorps, Chelan Douglas Community Action Council, Apple Valley Honda, Bob's Burgers and Brew, Global Car Care, Harvest Valley Pest Control, JDSA Law, Mini Blinds, and more. That Pizza Place in Cashmere, Together for Youth, Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, and Walkabout Grill. It's Apple Sox baseball live on your local TV station, the NCW Life channel.